Good morning, God. September 23rd. Some predictions about the world's coming to an end today. Or Jesus is coming back today. But you say in your word, Lord, that no one knows the day nor the hour. So I'm not really buying into that today.
Welcome back to...
Hey, I want to do the intro.
Why's that?
Well, what if the world does end today, and I never got a chance to do the intro? How would you live with yourself?
It's not going to end today.
You said you'd never know.
Fine, whatever.
Welcome back to Ray's A-Frame Adventure, episode 18.
Anyway, here we are back up at the cabin. And had the logs cleaned up from last time. All ready to go for my stair idea.
I'm still not seeing it.
Got these two bolted together to set up, but I'm noticing here as I started planing some of this, it didn't look too bad. I knew there was some rot on the wood after I've got it cleaned up. I don't have any mushrooms showing up, so that's good.
How about anchovies?
You can see here,
You and food.
as I plane this just looks like it's too rotten on that side, inside. So unfortunately,
Pizza.
you know, I could cut it and maybe get half a step out of it, but I think I'm gonna try, maybe see if I can go find another tree. So I've got this tree down here, and it had gotten nicked last year by the loader, or excuse me, by the dozer, I think, when we were trying to push in the road. So
Are you
it
driving?
looks like it has pretty much died. I'm gonna try to cut that tree down today. Take a look at the wood in there and see if that's any better.
Okay, here's the illustration of what I'm trying to do with the staircase and how I want to build it out of the 20-inch logs there. I want to stack the logs and bolt them together so they'll have a stair-step pattern that kind of goes up, as you can see here. And as I get closer here, you can see the rods going through the wood, and that's the threaded rods that I had trouble with in the last video, trying to drill holes for. But this is the general idea, and then I've got pins also that will join the steps as they go up too. So it kind of all locks together.
Well, down the tree came. Worked pretty good. I kind of cut an angle. I tried to make it fall right along the drive here. I didn't want to block the drive just in case I need to get out and take a while to cut up or something. Who knows? Just never want to block yourself in. But I tried to drop it kind of along here, but it went pretty good. Just a little bit off to the right, but it was leaning way the other way, so that was actually a pretty good out of that. Well, I made a first cut here, as you can see in the log, cutting off this butt end that I'm standing on here.
What's your language?
The bottom, which definitely had rot out there, but you can see we got still some rot going on right there, so I'll have to go a little farther up. But, well, after looking at it a little bit here from the cut, and I stuck the blade in there to see how far it would go, and I noticed that if I'd have noticed a little closer, there's a woodpecker hole right there, so the rot looks like it goes up to about into there at least. Well, this is what I was afraid of. After some further investigation here, you can see there's some wormholes and those types of things, and there's a little booger there. So, it does have some worm activity in the bark, which I was hoping that would just be to the bark itself and not in very deep, but it looks like it goes in a little deep. I think I've decided to abandon this log. As you can see, you know, it's got the sapwood here, the light color here, and that's soft. That's where the bugs like to go first. There's worms, bugs, and everything else. Okay, I'm back to my first logs here. I decided to try to maybe make some steps out of them instead, but this rotten part that you can see up in here, I'm going to try to cut down to that point there, and then with my segments there, and just hammer that off, and then do the same thing from the other side. Try to get a slab in the middle there that's solid.
Okay, so here's the next idea I'm trying to do. One of many that I've tried so far. I want to slice the log horizontally and create steps. Then I'm going to try to bolt them together again with a threaded rod and then eventually attach them to the upper floor.
It could work.
We shall see.
Okay, I'm starting to cut now. Instead of cutting my notches and knocking that off with a hammer and stuff, I decided to rip it down with the chainsaw for the flat top of the step there instead. It's working pretty good. I don't have a ripping chain on that saw, but it's not too bad. So by the time I get done, it'll be a lot smoother, and then I can just do a little planing on that. Well, I got good news and bad news is...
Give me the good news.
Well, the world hasn't ended yet, anyway.
It's still early.
It's supposed to be tonight. It's still September 23rd.
It'll be fine.
But the world may not have ended, but I'm not sure I have much luck. This actually looks good. I like the idea of the step pattern going up. Cut the logs in half, and it works good. The only problem with it is these logs are just still too soft in this area. Just too much punk wood in there, so I'm just not going to be able to use. These are the old pine logs, and
time to let it go.
They're just rotted too much to use, so I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board, see if I can find another log somewhere. October 5th, 2017. Well, if at first you don't succeed, then try again, and
that's the spirit.
my staircase idea, I've changed it to metal, I've changed it to wood, to logs, and anyway, I'm back to log idea. So the other logs were rotten, but I've got this log that was blown down in a storm tree here. I think this log may work. I need about 12 feet length out of it. So we're gonna cut that off and we're gonna drag it down with the Xterra. Well, that was relatively easy. I cut it and it actually fell pretty much straight down, which was good. It didn't roll over on me and kill me. This is a pretty steep slope here.
That's a bonus.
So I've got it tied up here to the Xterra.
Yeah, right?
And hopefully I'll be able to drag it down without chewing too much on this strap of mine, which usually happens because of the angle, but we'll see how it goes. I made it this close to the cabin. So that's not bad. Drug it down the mountain and back up a part of it here to this point here, but oh, my strap broke as I figured it would, and you can see there it just kind of shredded it. It was an old strap anyway, and it already had some tears in it, so I figured that's what was gonna happen. I guess the other good thing about it is I won't have to debark a lot of it since bark got stripped off a little more than I wanted to, but that's all right. It needs to go deep because we might have some beginning of bugs and stuff eating into that, so I need to take off the outer layer anyway. So one side of it's totally debarked, the other side needs a little bit of work. So it all works out. All right, next problem of the day.
Another one?
Is I had the log here. I'm on this slope. I know you can't tell by the video, but this is a pretty steep slope here where I could drag the log to it before it broke. But I had to tie it back onto the vehicle and pull it up on these logs. I had it jacked up, but it kept wanting to roll down the hill. Just kept wanting to slide down the hill as soon as I jacked up one end, it started going. So I've got it tied off to the vehicle. I'll have to start my cut, let's see, down here past the straps and work my way down.
This looks safe as usual.
Hopefully it'll stay in place.
Totally. Okay, so here's the next idea. As you can see here, I'm going to have one beam in the center, and then I'm going to cut like half-round steps to go up the sides. And again, they alternate, which is like a Jeffersonian stair, and that shortens the distance you have to have on the angle for the whole set of steps.
Okay, maybe third time is a success. I had it hooked up to the car, tried that, still was too much of a slope, didn't want to work.
Go figure.
Had problems, so I drug it up a little bit closer to the cabin with the vehicle. Kind of leveled it out here, so I think we're good to go now. And also have it standing straight up and down here, where when I cut through the log, it'll work. And let me show you what I'm trying to do here. Let's see if I can set this paper down and get that around. Whoops, hang on a second. Oh, let's just do it on the ground. So this is what I'm trying to build. I have a staircase here. I designed it in metal, and then I designed it in log. This is about my 10th design here. So
is that all?
That's what I'm going to do today, is try this log one first.
Hey, watch it.
This all doesn't work at some point. We'll have it made metal, but I think we've got it. So back to the log here. What we're going to do is we divided this log up like a 4-inch center, and then this will be 4 inches plus or minus on each side. Those will be the steps, as you see in the drawing there. The steps there, and then this center is going to be the center beam going up the middle. And so I took my level and held it level here and made a level line, both those lines. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side, and then I'll chalk a line between down there and here. That'll give me my straight edge to cut into, and we'll split this log into 3 pieces. Let's do it.
Woohoo!
Okay, so now I've got my, they were going to be chalk lines on there. I tried to chalk the lines, but it's so uneven. I ended up having to just run the chalk string across there and then put a couple nails and pull the chalk string tight, and then get my level here and redraw it in a red marker, Sharpie marker, which works. So we got it down the length of here. Now I know they make chainsaw attachments to rip this log down, but we're gonna do it freehand. We're gonna do it like, dude, it's just you out here. There's nobody else with you. Quit saying we're. It's just you.
I tried to tell you.
Pretty much nobody else out here.
Nope.
Anyway, I'm going to rip this log down here freehand, and then we'll plane it off. So I think it'll be good. We'll see how it comes out. Well, first cut's done. I'm going to leave it attached here so it'll kind of keep the weight on the log so it doesn't roll. But first cut's done. Boy, what I wouldn't give to have my Wood-Mizer bandsaw mill back. I could have thrown this up in the mill and sliced that down the middle perfectly and even. But I think this will work. We'll just have to see when I finally cut the other side, and then I'll cut through and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so here we go. We got them cut apart. That was a chore.
Sure was.
But they look pretty good. See that heart pine in the middle there, that dark color.
Thanks for your help.
That's nice.
Don't mention
and then,
it.
of course, some of the white sapwood. And after I trim some of that up and clean it up, we'll plane it off. Looks like we got some wormholes right in the middle of this.
Again?
You can see where the moisture was, and those worms got in there. So we're gonna have a few spots. I see even along here some fungal stains and stuff of Stuff's been getting into the sapwood. I didn't expect this in the center like that, but there's a few of them here. Another one down here. So we'll spray the wood after I get all planed off and stuff. I treat it, I put it in a bag or something, and then just put some insecticide in there and kill whatever's in there. Well, there's no shortages of bugs here. Look at this thing. I just cut this wood open a little while ago.
Eek!
And look, already this thing just flew in there. Look at the antenna on that thing. That's incredible, isn't it? Some type of wood beetle, borer beetle or something. But
God's given him some monster antennas.
Yeah, that's for sure.
okay, I'm laying out the steps on my half log here. And I chalked a line from all the way across the top edge there. And that way it gives me a straight edge to work on a 90-degree angle. So I can cut these steps. That way I'm going to make them about 12 inches each. But that gives me a square area to work against. So they'll all have a square 90-degree edge on them. But I was using my skill saw and my planer hooked up to my generator there. But for some reason, the generator's not generating enough power to get them to run. But it did get my angle grinder to run here, which I've got just a grinding disc on there. So I've been using that to kind of smooth out the bumps and stuff from the chainsaw, which is fine that it's a little rough. I actually wanted it rough somewhat so that your feet would have some texture and kind of make it look hand-hewn. So that's okay, but it's definitely a lot more work with that angle grinder than I wanted it to be. Trying to hold the angle grinder going at the same time.
What?
I said I'm trying to hold the angle grinder with my one hand.
What?
Okay, I get it. Anyway, my saw and planer were just getting too old and were requiring too much power from the generator.
Alright, got the main beam up for the center post for the stairs. That thing was heavy. Trying to do it by myself, it was a little bit of work there.
That's an understatement.
But screwed in a block on the floor so it wouldn't slide. I've got some bolts going down through. There's lags actually going down up there. I'm going to put some angle brackets here to hold that too. I've got an angle bracket. Got one step here installed. Underneath there I got an angle bracket. And then I got a couple of lags going here into the floor. And then on this side, what I've got is these lags. These are like construction things. They're stronger than lags. They're actually made of a hardened steel or something. So they go in right here. And there they are. Screwed in nice. I put a little bit of glue on that.
I think I used Gorilla Glue construction adhesive.
Stuff there. Once it sets up, it should be really solid. And you know what? Let's check it out. Okay.
Funny, mister.
That held all my weight, so far so good. I should have mentioned, instead of just measuring for all these holes, what I did is I made a template here. I don't know if you can see that. And actually I'll show it to you on this side. And so I've got the template here, and I've got my center line marked off. I actually moved it over an inch or so. So what I'll do is I hold the template up to there. Then I got my 2 holes here for drilling the holes. Put that up there, mark it, and then I take this template and then lay it on the other side of the step, and then use the same holes to mark it there for the holes. That way, when I drill the holes into here and into there, they'll line up, and then I can just run my legs through it. Here's a top view of the finished staircase. Looking down, and yeah, it looks pretty steep.
I'll say.
It's just because
It is.
it is.
Is there an echo in here?
Only you.
But it works. So I'm back and forth a lot of different ideas on this railing and how I was going to mount this. So what I ended up doing was mounting it to the log beam here, which worked out good, and then to the floor. So just black iron pipe, gives a nice kind of rustic look. Yeah, sorry about the mess of all my tools down here. Just had to clean this place up.
I'm so embarrassed.
Getting ready to leave this morning.
There's a broom waiting.
Yeah, it's good and sturdy. Thought I would need another bracket about in the middle somewhere where the
I'm allergic to dust.
joint is, but
Oh, please.
after messing with it a lot, I decided I didn't need that.
No,
So
really.
I've got it bolted down there to the floor, much the same way as up here.
You're allergic to work.
Straight down to the floor there.
Yeah, it gives me hives.
So here's a finished view of the staircase, looking up.
Jacob's ladder.
Yeah, not quite all the way to heaven, but to the
It
loft.
looks pretty good. It's steep, that's for sure. I've got my railing here on the bottom. Black iron to clean all that off. As far as the strength of it, it works really well. It's solid, so it's not going anywhere.
Here's some other designs I considered building, and there's a metal one on the far left there.
Something tells me this staircase story isn't over yet.
Yeah, you're probably right. Stay tuned.
Well, since the world didn't end yet, I guess I will.
Well, it's going to end, and Jesus is going to come back someday.
Yep.
And the real question is, will we be ready when he does?
Stay tuned, everybody.